Yo, 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 what's up, guys? I appreciate you for tuning in to today's episode of Allegedly What and Why. It's been a minute, guys. I know.
Oh my God!
But we're here. We're here. And I just want to say that mentally, I'm on this pace of consistency and workflow where I'm gonna be making a lot of entertainment for you guys and making a lot of, just a lot of work. I'm gonna be putting in that stuff, so I'm gonna be putting in that grind. And so, moral of the story is, I'm just tired of what's going around in the world. I'm tired of what I'm seeing, and I want to make a difference. And I'm gonna put my work in, my voice in. I'm gonna put my whole energy in. You feel me? So. Thank you guys again. I know it's been a while since we've been posting on Allegedly What and Why. So, here we are. Well, let's dive in, guys. So, really, what I wanted to do is dive into. I've been seeing a lot of people like that are pro ICE be called like, oh, Nazis or fascist. You join the fascism. I mean, I've even seen literally videos of people joining the protest of the anti-ICE just with the flag, and then they're labeled with fascist and Nazis because they disagreed with what certain people were chanting at these protests. And I think it's insane to be chanting these things and calling people these names when like they don't even align. And so today's objective and goal is I want to talk about what is fascism, where did it originate, where did it come from, how did it create, where does it come from, why was it used, and then we'll follow that up with Nazi, which is very, very, very known. Everybody should know, but not everybody does. They forget. It's a forgetful world. So, I know you guys can kind of see what I've got cooking up right here. So I'm going to try and put this down so it's not too much of a bother. But other than that, I'm sure you guys can see me and everything's still good. I just had to shrink everything on the desktop so that it's not, that big of an issue. Fascism. Political ideology and mass movement that dominated many parts of Central, Southern, and Eastern Europe between 1919 and 1945, and that also had adherents in Western Europe. I mean, the United States, South Africa, Japan, Latin America, and the Middle East. Europe's first fascist leader, Benito Mussolini, took the name of the party from the Latin word fascis, which referred to a bundle of and birch rods, usually containing an axe, used as a symbol of penal authority in ancient Rome. Although fascist parties and movements differed significantly from one another, they had many characteristics in common, including extreme militaristic nationalism, contempt for electoral democracy, and political and cultural liberalism, a belief in natural social hierarchy. So, I'm gonna get this right out the back. Half of these words that I'm gonna be trying to pronounce are so hard, but I mean, it ain't nothing to just look it up, see what it means, learn how to pronounce it, and then figure out, and then just move on. So what are we learning from what it's saying? Is this is where it's originated, this is where it started, this is where it came from, this is why it is created. Fascist parties and movements came to power in several countries between 1922 and 1945. The National Fascist Party in Italy, led by Mussolini, the Nationalist Socialist German Workers' Party, National Social, that's going to be or aka Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, representing his National Socialism movement. The Party of Free Believers, founded in 1930 by Jose Antonio Prime de Rivera, never came to power, but many of its members were absorbed. Alright, let's see. I've got a video that I want to show you guys, so we'll watch this.
Fascism. It's a word that often comes up in history, politics, and even online debates. But what does it actually mean? Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman and welcome back to Illustrate to Educate. In this video, we'll break down what fascism is, how it works, and what makes it distinct from other political systems, all in simple terms. At its core, fascism is a system where a single leader or ruling party holds total power. This leader often promises to solve national problems and restore pride and order, but demands complete loyalty in return. The leader's authority is rarely questioned. Courts, elections, and even free speech are limited
son, where'd you
because
find
fascist
this?
systems typically see too much democracy as a source of weakness or division. A historical example is Benito Mussolini, who ruled Italy starting in 1922. He claimed that only a strong, united government could rebuild the nation and referred to himself as Il Duce, meaning the leader. Fascism also emphasizes extreme nationalism, the belief that the nation's strength and identity come before individual rights. Citizens are expected to put the goals of the nation above their own personal interests. Symbols, uniforms, and mass rallies are often used to create a strong sense of unity and pride. For example, Mussolini drew inspiration from the power of ancient Rome, while in Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler used propaganda and national symbols to unite people under a single identity. The message is often centered on unity and strength, the idea that the nation must stand together as one. Fascist governments also rely heavily on propaganda, carefully controlled information designed to influence public opinion and maintain loyalty. Media, art, education, and communication are often regulated to promote obedience and devotion to the state. In Nazi Germany, for example, Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, worked to build support for Hitler's rule, while spreading hatred towards those considered enemies of the nation. Fascism also involves suppressing opposition. Criticism of the government is not tolerated, and rival political parties or independent organizations are often banned. Citizens who speak out can be silenced, imprisoned, or punished. Mussolini's black shirts and Hitler's brown shirts were paramilitary groups that intimidated or attacked opponents, using fear to keep society under control. Economically, fascism blends elements of capitalism and government control. Private businesses can continue to exist, but the government directs what they produce and how they operate, with the goal of strengthening the nation as a whole. Mussolini called this approach corporatism, where industries and workers were organized into state-supervised groups to reduce conflict and coordinate economic goals. While not all fascist movements are based on race, some have included ideas of racial or ethnic superiority. In Nazi Germany, fascist control was combined with racist ideology that claimed certain groups were superior and others inferior. This led to widespread discrimination, persecution, and ultimately the Holocaust, one of history's most tragic examples of where fascist and racist ideas can lead. In summary, fascism is built on a few key principles. One leader, one party, one nation. No tolerance for opposition. Control of media and messaging. Extreme nationalism. A state-directed economy. And often the use of fear and violence to maintain control. Fascism often begins with promises to restore pride and order, but in practice it usually leads to the loss of freedom, censorship, and oppression of those who disagree. Did you find this video about fascism to be helpful? If so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Illustrate to Educate to support more illustrated explainers.
Well, I hope you guys learned a lot off that video. That's fascism, okay? Now, as we move on to this next
The
video...
Gestapo were Hitler's personal secret police force. Their job was to find and arrest people who opposed Hitler. People like Jews, communists, and people who simply weren't loyal to the Nazi party. But how did they do this? Well, first they would get a warrant from a judge, which would then allow them to search a person's house or a place of business. If they found anything that they deemed illegal, then they would arrest the person and take them to one of these places. Now, these places were basically like concentration camps where people could be sent for questioning. And if the Gestapo didn't like your answers, well, then you might end up getting sent to one of these. And that's why so many people ended up in these places, because they didn't know what the Gestapo wanted from them. The Gestapo were a secretive organization, but we now know a lot about them, thanks to a guy named Himmler. He was the head of the Gestapo, and he was responsible for a lot of the atrocities committed by the secret police. And he did all of this with Hitler's approval, but not necessarily Hitler's direct orders. You see, Hitler liked to keep his hands clean. He would tell Himmler to do whatever it took to get rid of his enemies.
I do not like that guy's accent, I'm not gonna lie. But as we dive into all of this, y'all, I want to talk about what far-right politics are. So, they're the politics further to the right on the political spectrum that are standard to the political right. So, far-right politics encompasses a range of ideologies that are marked by ultra-conservatism, authoritarianism, a lot of other words that are very hard to pronounce, but they don't sound too good. I'm not going to be honest. I mean, it says nazism, Nazism. Like, whoa. Excuse me. My apologies, guys. Key to the far-right worldview is the notion of societal purity, often invoking ideas of a national or ethnical community. This view generally promotes which perceives society as a unified natural entity under threat from diversity of modern plural. See, there's just a bunch of long words. To boil it all down, I think I'm more of like a centrism. I don't lean right or left. I don't like any of it. And so like centrism is the range of political ideologies that exist between left-wing politics and right-wing politics. On the left-right political spectrum, it is associated with moderate politics, including people who strongly support moderate policies and people who are not strongly aligned with left-wing or right-wing policies. Centrism is commonly associated with liberalism, radical centrism. Those who identify as central support gradual political change, often through a welfare state with moderate policies, though its placement is widely acceptable in political science. Radical groups that oppose central ideologies may sometimes describe them as leftist or rightist. Now, one thing that really caught my attention is the fact that like when people are doing these protests, there's the high schoolers, there's teachers guiding them. These high schoolers are fighting people that don't agree with their ideology. These protesters are becoming extremely violent. These protesters are starting to loot. They're using this as an opportunity to loot businesses and take whatever they want. And it's starting to become more of, is this a protest they're showing up with flags that aren't even the United States of America. And so it's like you're here supporting a country that you're not even on, using this country's rights that you're using, but you're proclaiming your love to another country when you can just go back. Go back. If you love it and miss it so much and you want to represent it, go back. But let me demonstrate and show you guys examples of the chaos. I'll tell you what, I would hate to be a cop around this time and age. And the best advice I could give to people is just comply, stay home, go to work, stay out of trouble, don't be involved with any of these hooligans. At the end of the day, everybody's got a job to do, everybody's got money to earn, check bills to pay. Everybody's doing their job, okay? If you're not doing a crime, you've got nothing to hide. There's no reason to be combative. And this was more than 80 people were taken into custody in New York City last
President
night.
Trump is calling out Maryland.
Yeah, they're rioting. People are trying to go to work and they're getting in their way. They don't know what to do. They're probably scared for their lives. Because what are they gonna do? They're probably you kicked their car. They're kicking the car. What if there's that guy just attacked it? They're throwing stuff at the car and trying to attack it when there could be kids potentially in the car. You never know what could be going on, and they're like, in any situation, the driver has gotta fear for their lives and get out of that situation. And all they're doing is provoking it and making it worse. And then when shit happens, they're like, "Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh my gosh, we're the victims." But you're the one antagonizing and starting these issues. And then when something becomes something from nothing that you created and antagonize, you're trying to become the victim. And that's not how this world's gonna work. That's not how these people are gonna see you. And it's the same situation with a lot of these examples that are showing all over the world. Now, I suggest that you do not provoke law enforcement. I suggest that you do not be combative. I suggest that you do not break the law and try to think that you can get away with it. Follow the law. Like I said earlier, stay home. God bless America. I'm just getting started, guys. Literally. I want to just keep showing you all these examples.
Another night of intense protests in Minneapolis. Take a look at this brand new video overnight showing federal agents pinning a man to the ground as they clashed with demonstrators. These tensions come after an ICE agent shot a Venezuelan migrant in the leg earlier this week, and more than a week after Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent.
Now President Trump is threatening to send the U.S. military into the Twin Cities, a move that federal and local leaders say they are trying to avoid.
Minnesota is out of control. You have local and state leaders who seem to be encouraging violence and all of this madness. And the president's frustrated about it, and so are we.
We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos.
And coming up at 5:30, we're going to break down local efforts and
another one.
More than 1,000 protests planned across the country this weekend after a pair of shootings by federal agents enforcing the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
Tensions escalating at a local protest in response to that deadly Minnesota ICE shooting, and that's where we find KTLA's Omar Lewis live in Woodland Hills, where a protest will begin next hour. Omar, good morning to you. How does it look out there?
Good morning, Megan and Lauren. I can tell you organizers are calling this an ICE Out for Good weekend of action across the country, which houses ICE field offices. DHS officers advanced and fired what appeared to be pepper balls. The footage shows a protester struck in the face by what appears to be a rubber bullet, leaving him bloodied before he falls and is dragged away. Officers also reportedly grabbed a protester holding a bullhorn, and a scuffle followed that. We have reached out to DHS for comment and are awaiting their response. Meanwhile, as perceptions about the shooting and who is to blame remain deeply divided across the country, this latest video of the shooting is intensifying the debate over what happened.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know.
All right, y'all. So, since it's already shown the Renee Good situation, I'm going to speak on this. I'm going to speak facts. Number one, she was obstructing the traffic. That's a felony. There's people in the middle of the road behind the officers, the ICE agents in their truck. This lady is parked sideways in the middle of her road. A lot of people are saying that she was trying to do a three-way turn or whatever, three-point turn. Stop, turn around, reverse, and then turn back around. No. She had a whistle. Fact. This is all fact. She had a whistle Her and her girlfriend were antagonizing the ICE agents. Look up what antagonizing means, please. I'm begging you. Not only that, were they antagonizing the ICE officers, they were following them with their whistles, blowing it to let everyone around the neighborhood know these people are ICE officers. So they stopped their car in the middle of the road to stop the ICE agents, to stop the people. So she parked her car sideways while the road's like this. She parked her car like this to stop them. While there's other people behind them, potentially kids, people trying to go to work, school, doctors, lawyers, whatever you could think of, it is what it is. And so that's number one. These people think that they can stop anyone in the middle of the road and anyone in the middle of their lives because they think they have the power. Nope. That's illegal. Number two, you were detained. When an officer or anyone from any agency of federal or police officer, shit, even Border Patrol, and you're detained, you cannot leave or leave the scene. Like, what do you think is going to happen? I guarantee you, if you look up right now on any platform or on any AI or any Google, cases of people leaving the scene and getting away with it after being legally detained, I guarantee you they went to jail for it, even if it was they did nothing wrong, even if whatever they got pulled over for was just a hoax, a flusy, even if it was wrong. The fact that you left while detained is a crime, a felony. You fled. They don't know what you're doing or what you're trying to do. You were detained. That's why you gotta it's so, she shouldn't have died. I'm gonna tell you guys that. She shouldn't have got shot. I don't agree with it. I don't think that she should have died. I think the ICE agent shouldn't have even been on the scene because he got hurt a week before. So he should have been off. He should have been given money from the government and been like, thank you for your services. We don't need you anymore. You were hurt. Go spend time with your family to prevent situations like this from happening. However, you cannot ignore the facts that she's already committed 2 felonies before a gun was even fired. And remind you that these ICE agents' lives, who knows, nobody can say if they felt in danger or not, but man, they were being antagonized. And then they're like, you were detained, and then you want to flee the scene, and then there's an agent literally in front of the car and almost gets hit. Now, I would have just jumped out of the way. I wouldn't have pulled out my gun. But respectfully, I understand. You know, you've already committed 3 felonies now at this point, and you've put my life in danger, and I have no idea whether or not you're going to be putting yourself or others in danger while you flee this scene after being detained lawfully. And that's over 3 felonies or more. There might be more that you've already committed. I'm not agreeing that you should be put down like a dog, but I don't agree that you're supposed to just leave the scene after committing 3 felonies and just flee. I don't think there's any case in any law in the entire world where you've committed 3 felonies, was detained lawfully, and fled, and you got away with it. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen. I suggest you do your research, you look it up, and see if there is any case in the entire world where you were legally detained and you tried to drive away and you committed 3 felonies at least before even, like, you gotta see what's going on. And I'm not saying that she was justified to be killed, but I'm saying that you're not the victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna reverse back to what I was saying earlier. You cannot antagonize people and then when they react, become the victim of what happens as the result. When you were the beginning problem. You understand? That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel.
Tonight, just hours before a curfew takes effect for a second night in downtown Los Angeles, protesters again taking to the streets. Demonstrations opposing ICE immigration enforcement operations now in their 6th straight day. Organizers mobilizing across social media.
How long do you think this is going to go on? Well, the National Guard said they're going to be here for at least 30 days, so I'd say as long as they're here.
Protests overnight in New York, Denver, and Chicago, where a car appears to speed through a crowd of protesters.
I don't see anything wrong with people protesting.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott deploying the...
I don't see anything wrong with people protesting, but one thing I do have a problem with is the way they're protesting. And the way that they're treating other people that try to protest with them, but don't agree with their politics or values. Like, America should be a place where if we're all going to protest, we're all welcome to the streets to chant whatever it is the hell we want to chant. And we, even if we don't agree each other, it shouldn't be violent. We should all be able to, like, alright, you guys don't agree, go hit that side of the city and chant whatever it is you want. You know what I mean? We're going to chant this side, and whoever screams it the loudest, let God hear it. But at the same time, like, we shouldn't be attacking other people, because it's just hypocrisy, and there's just so much of it, literally on both sides, left and right. But I will tell you this, as I say that, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, this is what the right did, guys. They lit candles peacefully. I want you guys to remember that. And they said, we gather not only to honor Charlie's leadership and his unwavering voice for America, but to stand together as proud patriots committed to faith, freedom, and our great nation. And that's where I love that, because I'm a Christian, I'm a patriot, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, but I feel this feeling in my heart where I'm extremely proud to be an American. I'm extremely proud to be Native American, Mexican, white. I'm an American patriot, a Christian, a man of faith. But I won't be labeled as something I'm not, and I won't be believing false narratives, propaganda, and things that the media tries to force down all of our throats. And I'm not going to be joining no protest or march where half of the people don't even know what they're protesting, or like they don't even know what half of the things they see on the internet, they don't even know what they're watching. They don't even have a solid belief of what they're watching. They just see it, hear what other people are saying about it, and then they join it. And then they chant whatever other people are chanting.
From sea to shine.
Tonight, college campuses are reacting to the death of Charlie Kirk.
His organization, Turning Point USA, has a presence at schools all across the nation, including at UC Davis, University of the Pacific, and Sacramento State. ABC 10's Austin Castro spoke to students at Sac State and also an alum of Turning Point USA.
Shocked, I'm disappointed, I'm upset that we are increasingly resorting to violence. Used to deal with it.
Meanwhile, others view the incident as a moment to emphasize the need for political discussion without resorting to violence.
We need to be the examples, not showing that we're going to murder somebody because we don't believe in their views.
For one alum and former president of the college...
Well, folks, there you go. One thing one person I really follow and I admire is PBD, Patrick Bet David. He's got a fellow person named Vinny, and he goes by like the Angry Patriot, and I absolutely love him to the T, man. I'll tell you what, man, he is like the perfect, I mean, if you guys need somebody to look up to or somebody to just like a role model, I suggest looking up Patrick Bet David and just stay, like, They got the facts. They've got the right mind people. They got the right everything. And you're not going to be leading down a road of false narratives and all this other stuff. So, you know, I know this was kind of a hot topic, kind of a podcast. I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with what I believe. But however, that's how I grew up. That's how I was raised. This is what I believe. I believe that other people are going to have different opinions. So, if you've made it this far in the video, don't be like hitting the comments with all that negative energy, because at the end of the day, like, we're all going to have different beliefs. We're all going to have different views. But the purpose of this channel is to find the facts on the internet and really just dive into like we did today is what's the meaning of this? What's the purpose? Is this true? Let's see like what is going on left, the right, you know, what does the middle say? We always want to find the facts. We always want to do our own research and never just follow the TV or follow, you know, Twitter or what other people are chanting on the internet, guys. You know, if you're in school right now and your teacher and everyone else in your class is saying one thing and you don't know too well if you like should agree with them, or, you know, my honest opinion, you're always going to be the bigger person if you're the odd man out. You're always going to be the bigger and better person if you're not joining the group. And I know that's going to feel so weird and hard at the moment, but I can only guarantee you that God has a bigger plan for you. God's going to water you and like a seed, you know, and you've got to be willing to use those moments as teachable lessons and manifest whatever it is you desire. So again, guys, I appreciate you for tuning into today's show of Allegedly What and Why. We went over what's a fascist, what's fascism, where did it originate, where does it come from. Same thing with kind of Nazi. Why do people chant these words and stuff? Like, what's the big deal? I got kind of like a little saying on my Perplexity that I kind of have pre-written up that I can, let me see here. Let me pull this up so I can. Well, you know what, guys? To kind of like change topics a little bit. So what I'm thinking is I want to do so there's this thing going around the internet right now of this boxer who literally got smacked in the face by Larry the bodybuilder for like trying to disrespect him and like holler at his wife, and he got boom, just like when Bradley smacked that one kid for taking his hat. Literally got smacked just like it, and I wanted to show you guys the video.
I got my strap in the car. This nigga, bro. He slapped the shit out of me in front of the girls.
No, the girls didn't see it.
His wife up for grabs.
Hey, he's been mad disrespectful.
She's smiling, she's laughing.
Did you get that?
This.
What are you doing with your hands? Listen. You ready for him to aggressive? Whoa!
Yeah, that was real chat because you could even hear it, bro.
Yeah.
You could even hear it.
Too far, and my man Larry let him know.
Don't do. Oh, whoa! I know we're streaming this shit. No, hey, bro, don't disrespect. Don't disrespect the king like that. You know why?
She a queen, though.
Listen. Whoa. I know we streaming. Got to chill. We got chill. I know we streaming.
She a queen, though.
Hey, honey, your liquor. I know we streaming, but honey, this shit.
His wife up for grabs.
Hey, he's been mad disrespectful.
She's smiling, she's laughing.
Did you get that?
This.
What are you doing with your hands? Listen. You ready for him to aggressive? Whoa! Dean! All night getting shit on? Yeah. I was waiting for that fucking moment. That was a real ass slap, nigga. Get your ass in the van, nigga. It was a hard ass slap, nigga. Come on.
Bitch ass.
Come on.
He smacked him. And Larry's like, what? What are you gonna do?
You did good, nigga.
So first and foremost, I want.
Larry said, alright, what are you gonna do? And then, guys, not even 24 hours later, he gets elbowed in the face by a UFC fighter. You can't even make this shit up. You can't even make this up. Watch. UFC fighter Tiki elbows him in the face. Look at this.
Seriously?
Oh, do that. Oh. Nice to meet you, bro. You do know who I am. I don't know why you lying. So don't act like you don't know me.
I don't know you.
You definitely know me.
Nice to meet you, though.
Yeah, I just don't be lying because girls around and shit. You definitely know me, bro.
Bro.
Not even on some disrespectful shit, bro.
Don't like your attitude. Don't like your fucking tone.
I don't like you at all.
Son, where'd you find this?
Yeah. Straight up.
What?
I said straight up.
Are you the guy that got slapped on video?
I did, but I'll slap the shit out you though.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he asked for it right there. He asked for it.
No, I'll make you another clip. Don't do that.
Seriously?
Don't do that.
Oh yeah, he was.
Alright.
He got folded twice.
No. Come on. Nah, fuck cut.
Dean, chill.
Man, fuck cut. He gonna sneak me, nigga.
Dean, chill out.
Man, Cut ain't finna sneak me, nigga.
Chill, bro.
Whole ass, nigga.
Hey, let me talk to you, bro.
The fuck?
Let me talk to you, bro.
Bitch ass, nigga.
Hey, let me talk to you.
Man, I'll have all.
He got.
We're not your enemies, bro.
The fuck?
He got violated twice.
What happened? Tell me.
What did you say to him?
Cut gonna get smoked.
So.
Seriously?
Oh, do that.
Yeah, he.
Nice
so
to meet
he,
you, bro. You do know who I am.
He got hit twice.
Don't be fighting my managers, nigga. Hey, Chuk Mung them boy. Hey, trust me. My manager, that nigga don't watch this shit. He don't know. He's my fight manager. He don't know nothing about this shit. Chuk Mung them. Hey, he a fighter, bro. He said. He told me what you said. Chuk Mung them boy. Chuk Mung them boy. Chuk Mung them boy, bro. Napoleon ass nigga. I swear. I swear.
Yeah, chat, he's cooked. He's cooked. He is cooked. But you know what? Don't disrespect other people, especially fighters. Because that's what happens. Thanks for tuning in. We out.
Chase it down, we hold it tight, but it slips through hands in the dead of night. What's the story, what's the play? Who's the voice and what they say? Facts and pieces, they collide. Alleged and what and why. Static on the air is thick. Truth or fiction, take your pick. Lies and whispers twist and bend. Where does it start and where's the end? Tuning closely in your ear. The answers lurk but they're unclear. Allegedly will testify. What and why, let's amplify.